Rockin' them Ducos. Dude, that music was turned up, huh?
Turned up, as the kids would say.
That shit was turned. Well, as you guys can see, Weller's on hiatus. Happy birthday, DJ. It's his 13th birthday today.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday, little man. So, got an old friend that I've known, see him all the time now. Matt Siegelkoff in here. What's up, Matt?
What's happening, Fish?
Tell him what's up. Tell him who you are, man. What you're about.
Everybody? Thank you.
Yeah.
Everything's awesome. I appreciate being on the show. I love it.
Dude, it'll be a good time. We got some good stories set up, dude.
I'd like to apologize to everyone before we start.
For what, dude?
If I drop anybody's name mistakenly.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we try to keep code names, but, shit happens, so. We'll say, what's ups, man. What's up to Rick Lee? He was guest host a couple weeks ago. He did really good, man. What's up to Timothy Dickinson? What's up to Nick McCollum? What's up to Omar Antonio Rodriguez? What's up to Jeff Baca? What's up to my main man Nate Tosta? What's up, Bull? What's up, Chris Whittemore? Oh, man. I'm sorry if I machete this name, but what's up, Habizi Iram? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Michelle Searcy, Christina Hoff, and Lori Robot?
Yay!
And then our special guest shout out this week goes to Double H, main man up in Coos Bay, Oregon, running a business, doing some big shit up there. Gall High School graduate, mechanic. I think he did some porn back in the day. It's on Super 8 video, so very hard to get a hold of, but impressive. By far impressive. What's up to Hugo Hernandez, man?
Oh, yeah.
Or Hugo Luna, sorry. Sorry, Luna. So what's up, man? What do you want to start on?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Go ahead and pull the mic in. There you go. All right, so I'll piggyback it, dude.
When we get to start here.
This was pretty fresh, dude. So we were just talking about filmmaking, right? Because we both had filmmaking. Me and Weller took it all 4 years of high school, and you took it in college, dude. So
my 1 year.
1 year in college? You still went, dude.
Yeah, it was great. I figured, I went to college. It was like my first semester. It's like I only passed half my classes.
Yeah.
So I figured the next semester, if I took twice as many classes, I would pass as many as I needed to.
The math works.
Well, yeah, it's Fraser math. It didn't quite work that way, though. So once I figured out, I just was here partying and wasting money, then it was like, but yeah, I took a filmmaking class, and it almost like ruined movies for me because now I look at it from different angles, because that's what they teach you in the movie. It's like you weren't just watching it to enjoy it; you were watching it to see
critique it.
Cinematography. They captured this by this angle, this lighting, all that kind of stuff.
Because you have like your choker close up, right? Boom. You have your pan shot. You have the long shot,
and then the music, right?
Yeah,
it's always setting the tone.
Well, it's emotion, yeah. In the movie The Shining, I watched this with my daughter a couple weeks ago. It's a really good book. I don't know if you like reading, but Shining's a really good book too. But The Shining without the music isn't the same movie, dude. Without the sound effects, right? And to prove this to her, we watched about 5 minutes of the scene where Jack Nicholson starts to go crazy, and he's gonna chase Shelley Duvall
with the axe.
Yeah. No. Well, she has the bat.
Oh, okay.
And she just started reading his papers,
and figuring it out.
Yeah. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, that kind of shit, right? So the build up with the music is boom, boom, and I play it loud in there on the surround sound, so you can feel it and shit too.
Sure.
So we watch it, I roll it back, we take the music out, and we just watch it muted. It's not scary. You're looking at it like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, this is lame.
Yeah. So music does really push it and make the movie or the tones. And if you ever watch how they make sound for movies and stuff.
Oh, with like 2x4 clapping
Or they take high heels to walk and click on, It's cool, man. I dig that part of filmmaking, man.
Yeah. It's funny every Halloween, since Halloween was just happened, I have this CD, which the only thing that plays it now is my PlayStation 3 that for some reason I still have.
Right.
But anyway, so I have the CD, and it's really creepy. Like, I really think they tortured people when they made it, and like they have all those creaky sounds to the point where my kids, even though they're older, they hate it. They're like, and it scares people. And I used to just have it playing, and I'd always keep my house dark when my porch lights on. And then just dress up like some sort of creep, and then I'd talk like Sling Blade or something. And then I'd have like a couple of kids that would actually cry that were littler, and I'd have to take off my costume, show, look, I'm really not a creep, so don't hate me later. But anyways, it was just kind of funny that.
No, that's the spirit.
Halloween, yeah,
that's the spirit of Halloween, dude. Yeah.
But that music is all it was, and that background sound just like totally would.
Oh yeah, like shit creaking or fucking high pitched screams and shit, dude. That's the best.
And so every time they hear that creaking door, they think of that CD. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" And so,
dude, I love it though. And then like you were talking about Tarantino, right? So that's another cool thing. If you look at these directors, like Steven Spielberg's another one, George Lucas, J.J. Abrams now. If you see when they started and how their movies progress, and they get better, the movies just get better and better, man. But it's very rare you come out right out of the box with a fucking badass movie. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you could look at the progression of Star Wars and all those and how it progressed. But if you look at that, there's also background music in there and the orchestra and all the different things.
They won a Grammy, or what was it? They won an Oscar for the soundtrack of Star Wars.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's a big fuck up there. But go ahead and close out filmmaking, man. Let's get on something crazy. Why don't we talk about hitchhikers, dude?
Oh, man.
So we got some hitchhiker story. Go ahead and tell your hitchhiker story, man. How about the one, what was it?
Oh, man. So, yeah. So I ended up driving. I was driving to my buddy's house. I hadn't seen in a long time. He moved away. He used to go to school with. And I'm out there in the middle of the country up 50, like off of the Trove or something. And there's this guy just standing out there. And it's like in the middle of summer. Gonna be like 100 degrees, and it's like 9 in the morning, and he's like standing out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, where the hell does this guy come from? Like, so I was like, he was my age, and I was only 19, so it's not like I was risking anything. He was a younger guy too, and it wasn't like he was big or whatever. And I was like, are you all right, man? You need a ride or something? He's like, yeah. He's like, I just walked out here. Well, he was at a party, and ended up tripping out or something, and like walked off and left the party, and was like hitchhiking.
A country party too.
Yeah, and this is like up in like Oak Ridge and Cameron Park, so all these kids are like well off. This kid wasn't. He obviously was, he was doing fine. Yeah. Anyways, so I was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. He's like, oh yeah, and he knew my buddy, and so he's like, yeah, I live down the street from him. So I was like, okay, I'll give you a ride. Go ahead and jump in. And so the whole thing happened, and then like years later, I ended up meeting my now ex-wife, but we were talking about insurance stories, and I was like, oh yeah, I picked a guy up here one time, and this or that, because her grandma lived up there, we were driving, and I was like, yeah, I picked up this guy, I was like hitchhiking, and she's like, you picked up a hitchhiker? And like, thought I was crazy, right? But then the whole story came out, she's like, was his name Vaughn? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my gosh, I was at that party. Like, they were partying up there.
Dude, that's where your path started to cross, dude. Cosmic shit, dude.
It just happens. It's like, this world is really that small, really, when you get down to it.
I had one, too, as I was going fishing early in the morning, headed southbound from Elk Grove, and I was about 4 miles out from the town. So this is out in the country. And this area here is predominantly Hispanic or white. We have some black folks, but not too many. So I'm driving out in the middle of the country, and it's just about dusk dawn time, and I see a really tall black dude in a tuxedo dress. I mean, really nice dress, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing way out here, dude? You know what I mean? So I pull over. I talked to him. I was like, where you going, man? He's like, I don't fucking know, dude. I was at this wedding last night. Everything was cool. I came all the way from Fresno with my wife. It's some of her friends, old high school people, and this and that. And he went to take a piss in the upstairs bathroom. He opens the door, and this dude in there pounding his wife on the sink.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he lost his fucking mind. Just fucking left the party and shit, started walking. No wallet, no keys.
That's the right choice.
Yeah.
Don't kill him.
Yeah. Started walking, dude, and he's like, yeah, I live in Fresno, dude. That's where I'm trying to go. I like, dude, you were like 2 hours from Fresno, man. But, you know, I feel God puts me in these positions, or the Great Spirit, whatever it is. So I give him a ride to Lodi, get him a Greyhound bus ticket. It was only like $14, dude. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. But I felt like I did my job, and I felt my heart went out to that guy, dude. Like, fucking.
Yeah, well, yeah, you knew what he...
Life-changing shit, like right here. Right now in your face. Do it.
Yeah, well, he made the right choice by not pulling out a gun and just shooting somebody or beating his wife or whatever, you know, because none of that's worth it. Obviously, that's done and gone. Somebody else made that decision for him. So, luckily, he moved on, and then also by rewarding him for making that right decision, somebody came and saved him.
But, you know, I think about it, man. You're a few hours away from your house. You're with people you don't really know.
No phone, no wallet.
Yeah, because I was probably 29, 28. I mean, it was a long time ago, dude. It wasn't like everybody's got a cell phone. Or you can call Uber now or whatever, you know. It's a fucking trip story. And then, what was the other one? I used to work at the gas station here on Simmerhorn Road. And fucking, every now and then you get hobos or fucking drifters, hitchhikers come in, this and that, dude. And so this dude's like, hey, can you give me a ride to Lodi? And I'm like, why not, you know? I'm like, fuck, I'll give you a ride to Lodi. So, because he had some weed and shit, so we're going to smoke up and everything.
Nice.
But then,
ass grass or...
Well, dude breaks open a Bible, and it's got the cutout, and he's got all this fucking, all kinds of drugs in there, dude, and he's got acid. So I was like, oh, fuck, dude, let's do some acid, man. I ended up driving this guy to, like, Salinas. Only place he wanted to go was Arch Road. You know Arch Road off 99, dude? Yeah. And we end up in fucking Salinas somehow, dude.
Oh, my gosh. Out of gas?
Dude, out of gas. Fucking, it was insane, dude. But, you know, hitchhikers sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying, man? Sometimes you just feel like, hey, maybe that person needs some help.
Yeah.
So I'll do that.
Well, yeah, it's just like we were talking before about, you know, you see somebody on the side of the road needs help or something. It's like, you know, like the truck that I drive has nice big flashing lights on it and all that kind of stuff for being on job sites and stuff. So it's like, you know, you work as a blocker, you see this people in distress, you know, that could be your daughter, your mom, your grandma, anything like that, you know, and it's like you know, if you have the ability, you get out and help, you know, it's like
Dude, for me, it's like old people. If it's a man or a woman and they're old, I'll try to help them.
You bet.
Or a young girl, like one of my daughter's age or something like that, I'll help them. Not trying to get ass or anything, just help them.
Right.
But if I see a dude my age, you know, I'm kind of like...
capable of changing his own tire.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, fucking figure that shit out, bro. But I've also helped guys out, push their trucks, get out of the way to help everybody else out.
Sure.
Then you got some fucking asshole, because you're parked with your flashers on, trying to help somebody push them to the side of the road, and they're sitting there honking their horn. You motherfucker, why don't you help me?
Right? And so I ran out of gas before, back when we used to drive stick shifts, luckily. And I had somebody help me push it out of the way, right? Because I'm trying, and I'm like trying to do my best, and somebody got out to help me the same way, and I thought, you know what? That saved me. At that point, that relief and that feeling you get, you're like, man, finally I'm out of that danger zone, and like, I could deal with this. But that stressful moment, like once that relief and somebody helps you and you're done, you're like, man.
At least you're safe, you know.
You're safe. And so, like, I know what that means to somebody. When you get out and you help them and you do that, especially, I can't imagine if I was, you know, an older person or somebody that wasn't capable of pushing, you know, and you're like just kind of stuck going, well, I'm waiting for somebody to help, you know, the tow truck or whatever it may be, so...
And another one's kids. If they have kids, I don't care if it's a dude and he has kids. I want to help him because he's got kids, you know.
Yes. So I was actually at a gas station filling up for work in the morning early. It's probably about 7:30. Well, so not that early, but anyways, I was sitting there getting gas in my company truck on my company car, and there's this BMW 7 Series parked there, and I'm thinking, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, and it was sitting there for a while. I was almost done. And this guy gets out, and I'm like, hey, everything all right? And he's like, actually, I'm out of gas and this and that. And I look over, and I can see this head in there, and, of course, there's, like, a teenage boy in the car.
Little kid, yep.
And I'm like, you're out of gas. You're driving a 7 Series BMW. You know, this is in Natomas. And I'm like, all right. I was like, so I was like, you need some fuel or what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not looking for money. Just if I can get a couple of gallons, that'd be great. I'm like, all right, well, go ahead and back your car up here, and and I'll just give you a few gallons, And so he ends up not being able to even start the car.
Oh fuck! He was bone dry.
He was bone dry. Put it in neutral, and him and his 13-year-old son just got out there to push the car back. And so I ran back there and helped his kid push it back as he was steering. So they just pushed it back, and I went over and, dude, I gave him like 10 gallons at least, or 8 gallons, and it's like, I went back and even told my boss, because I was like, hey, look, I put some extra fuel, this is the story. And they were actually there. He was like, well, that's fine. He's like, I appreciate that. He's like, those people remember, the company.
That's good PR, man, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, really, that was nothing. He's like, I understand being caught in that situation. I was like, dude, as soon as I saw the 13-year-old kid trying to get to school, I was like, waiting there. I was like, the humility that has to have and that burden, it's like, I just wanted it to go away for him.
Dude, and it sucks. It sucks when you have your kids, because your kids think, oh, well, you have a card, you have an ATM card, you have a credit card or whatever, right? So your kids don't know how much money you have. They always think you fucking got money. They're like, well, why don't you just buy this or this or that? They don't know that I got fucking $3 in my bank account and we're living by the skin of our teeth till Friday, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, and that's the one thing, like, I tried to teach my kids, like, especially once they started working, I was like, is that worth 2 hours of your time doing that job?
Yeah.
No, I don't need those gloves, Dad. I'll take these, for football, or these cleats. It's like, is this worth this much of your time grinding out? Because that's how long it's going to take me to work to pay for it. So
fuck yeah.
Once I put it in that perspective.
Well, after taxes, too, because once they start working, they see the after tax check, and they're like,
I didn't want to hammer them that bad. I mean, I didn't want to break them in.
It's real easy math, though. You think you make $10 an hour, you worked 40 hours a week, you made $400. You're like, well, how come my check's $275?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where'd that go? To the roads.
Yeah, so you could help somebody that's not working.
Yeah.
Right. Close that fucker out, dude. We'll get in on something else. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have, dude, because you had a Tahoe gas pump story, dude.
Oh, man, yeah, okay. So, we went to Tahoe, and, like, we're up there partying, and I don't even think I was 21, but, I could grow at least a mustache to the goatee, and back then, that was the whole quarter in the slots.
Fuck yeah.
So, as long as you were shoving quarters in there, they really didn't bother you, and so, we were up there, and I remember it was just gambling. I wasn't even a drinker or anything then, so I wasn't really worried about it. But there was a couple of girls that me and my buddy were playing the sit-down slots, and they were sitting there parked, or these girls were. Of course, the lady comes by to get drinks, and she's like, "Oh, you want a drink or this or that?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, this." And so she carded them. Yeah. And like, luckily, we weren't attached to them, so it was like she wasn't interested in carding me. And I look over, and in the empty cup holder, there was a Coors Light can sitting in there already. So I just picked that up and acted like I was drinking it, but I didn't put my mouth on it or anything.
Yeah.
So she comes up, she's like, "You want another one?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take another one." I just kept throwing as many quarters as I could in there, right? So didn't card me. We sat there, played, and had a good time. And on the way home, it was probably about 2 a.m. coming down, and there's that little gas station on 50.
Oh, yeah.
Halfway down.
I know we were talking about there's a Burger King there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it's just right there off of 50, and that's all it is, just a little station. So I pulled in there, and I'm getting gas or whatever. And I walk in there, and I'm like nodding out, tired, right, on the way home. And so I wasn't paying attention, and I get back in my car, and I'm sitting there as it's filled up, and all of a sudden I heard a click, and so I'm just in my mind, oh, okay, I'm done. So I start the car, put in gear, the gas pump's fucking still stuck.
Oh, in the car?
In the car. And I drive off, and as I drive off, I see in my side mirror this fucking gas pump where I ripped the hose off, and it was stuck in the side of the car, and I see it just right on the side of 50, and I was like thinking, I'm getting the hell out of here right now before they call the cops, because of course back then, it's like,
well, now they'll get your fucking license plate and everything.
Right, they got cameras. That was like, I was so thankful back then that they probably didn't have cameras, because they would have just called me and been like, "You owe us $500 to replace this hose."
Yeah.
But it was just kind of funny, because I was just one of those stupid things.
Yeah, my first old lady, we lived on the apartments on A Street. I forget what they're called, Palm Gardens.
Oh yeah.
And she comes home and
Palm Gardens.
she had a white Hyundai. She comes home, the fucking gas pump's there, the handle and shit's in the car. And I'm upstairs and I look at her and I'm like, did you just fill up with gas? And she's like, how did you know? And I'm like, cause look. And she looks at it, she's like, oh my god. And we live in Gulf, dude. It's at the Quick Stop right there. I mean, like, fucking, now we can't ever go to Quick Stop again.
Right.
You can't do that.
Did you, like, run it back at, like, 3 in the morning and leave it on the front porch?
Fuck no, dude. I fucking got that shit and threw it in the garbage can right now. Like, nothing happened.
Right.
You know, but karma gets you, dude. Oh, you know, fucking, it happens.
Are you with me, man?
Yeah. Knock on wood. All right, go ahead and fucking close that one out. What's up with burnouts, dude?
Oh, man. So let me tell you. My first encounter with Mr. Frazier in front of the Natoli Dome.
At the high school,
At
yeah?
the high school, Galt High School. And, well, there was only a Natoli Dome, but that's what it was called. Payphone, everybody waiting out there, calling their parents to come pick them up. Some of us had rides, but Frazier had the Gran Torino. Did a full-on one-legger burnout. Sat there and smoke showed, right? Filled up the entire parking lot with smoke and left. And I thought, man, that dude's indestructible, you know? It's like, that's so, I mean, right there on campus in front of everything, you know, and took off. And there was nobody out there at that point as far as faculty. And so, you know, we all kind of had older cars, the V8s and everything. Yeah. So I had mine, and which Nichols always had, you know, he had that sick truck.
Oh,
right?
fuck
that
yeah.
was just like, obviously better than anybody else's.
Oh, yeah, it was show quality truck, dude, and he built it.
Right,
yeah.
He did it himself, right? So I had my car that actually me and my buddy built. Donovan Kessler built my Nova in his shop, dude. Built the motor and everything, put it in. A 16-year-old kid's not knowing anything, reading books. No Google.
The old shitlins.
We'd ask his dad every once in a while. His dad would come out there and he'd be like, you need to do this, this, and this. But he wouldn't do it. He'd make us do it, you know. But we built that car, but obviously not with the same kind of tools or parts that Nichols had.
Yeah.
You know, so when we built that car, as funny as after you did your burnout, I thought, okay, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it leaving the parking lot, you know. And so after you did your thing, I went out there, and of course all my friends were back there egging me on. And so when I left the parking lot, you know, I left a nice one-legger out of the parking lot. And of course that was when my mom was out there because she works at the school. And she saw me just totally roasted out of the parking lot. She was the only staff there. So, of course, when I got home, my mom decided to share that with me. Luckily, she didn't tell my dad because I would have been in trouble. She said, and this is my mom and why I love her so much, is she's like, I understand they were all egging you on, and the pressure, you had to go to it. You couldn't not do it, you know, because I was like, yeah, that's what it was, the pressure.
Dude. It happens, man. I mean, sometimes that's usually what happens. The first guy that does it doesn't get caught. It's in football, basketball, sports, whatever, dude. Same thing with cars, man. First guy that peels out, nobody gets caught, dude. Second guy does it, you get fucking caught.
You get busted. Your mom's there, watch it, yeah.
Dude, that reminds me, I had a real good story. So we had started out, it was Halloween. We had dropped acid. It was me, one of the Tosta boys, and Hugo. And we're in Lodi, which is, you know, a few miles away from Galt. We're fish out of water, you know, because we don't fucking know anybody. We're at a party and the shit starts kicking in, dude. And me and Hugo are having a good time, mixing it up, talking to new chicks, all that shit. We even got to the point where we're handing out candy at this house, dude. Like, and we're frying balls. So little Power Rangers, New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming up, and we're frying balls, and it's fucking funny. It's like super cool because they look real, you know.
Sure.
And we go to the car and we're getting ready to leave, and we're like, oh fuck, well, we forgot somebody in the house, right? So we go through this house, look all over the fucking place for him. Can't find this guy.
Don't forget about baby.
Yeah, and so I'm in the kitchen and we're sitting there. I'm drinking a beer and I look over at the curtains by a sliding glass door, and I see two pair of Converse sticking out. So I'm like, oh fuck, that's my bro, dude. He's fucking. So I go pull the curtain out and he's just fucking, you know, straight up frozen, like fucking. He's having a bad trip.
Sure.
And you know, if you do take acid, you usually have a bad trip. It's going to be at night.
Okay.
You don't usually have a bad trip during the day, but at night you do because of shadows and all that shit. So oblivious to that, we get him in the car. He's fucking fetal position in the back seat, you know. I'm driving. I'm fucking 17 years old driving around town on acid. We go by Lodi High School and they got the gates open to the fucking football field.
Oh, no. Dude, you didn't drive out in the field.
Dude, not only did I drive out on the field, I'm fucking revving it up 50, 60 miles an hour and just fucking throwing it. Get it going again. Throw it. Just burning up that field, dude.
That's what they call a whip.
Dude, I was whipping it all over the fucking football field, dude, and I'm probably going to jail now because now they know who did it. But
they've replaced that field 3 times since then.
Me and Hugo were fucking laughing our fucking ass off, dude, having a good fucking time, man. And then I forgot the guy in the back seat. I looked back there and he just fucking, the momentum and shit, and he's got his eyes closed and his body's just feeling all this and
G-forces,
this and shit. And I felt so fucking bad, dude. It's just acid or any hallucinogenic. It's never the same for me as it is for you. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Everybody's different.
Yeah, mushrooms, same thing. Everybody has a little different trip, but burning out, man. That was one of my favorite fucking times doing that shit, dude.
So I've only lawn jobbed one time, and I didn't even want to do it. It was that whole pressure thing again of your friends, right? So my buddies, we were at a party. I was only like 16. I just had my license for maybe 3-4 months, but I had driven a farm truck and burned out in the fields plenty of times, so I knew how to work everything. Well, of course, my buddy had a big, name to be non-named, had a big 4-wheel drive lifted 86 Chevy tan 2-tone. So now you know who you are. And he was smashed, and everybody's like, let's go get some Taco Bell. And since I was the only sober one there, I was like, well, okay, I'll drive, but I'm not taking my parents' truck, right, that I had. I was like, I'm not rolling through town with that. So he's like, go ahead, take so-and-so's truck. They give me the keys. So me, my friend Richard, and Shawnee Moe was in the middle. All took the truck, and they're like, hey, let's go cruise around or whatever. So there's that new development at Guttridge, and they didn't have that park finished off with the sound wall and everything, so it was just a ditch. And they're like, go out there, lawn job that. I was like, no, because I'm a respecter of lawns, I really take pride in my lawn. And so it's like, if somebody ever did that, I would just be like crushed. So it's like, no. They're like, come on. And of course they're calling, you pussy, come on. It's not even your truck and this and that. And I was like, all right. So I drove through the ditch and everything. I got out there in the middle of this nice park lawn and just stuck it to the floor. And it just bop, hit second. Of course, that had super swampers and just was trenching. They're like, you got to get sideways. And I'm like, no, that's where you get stupid, right? And so I was like, no, I'm just burning out. We're done. Like, I was trying to keep it just that. And so my buddy Rich reaches over, grabs the steering wheel, pulls it right. I hook it left, and all of a sudden we're just like this. And I'm just like, boom, on the brakes hard because we're running out of territory. Right off the curb, onto the asphalt, onto 2 wheels, stalls out, and boom. And I'm just like scared, right? I'd never put anything on. I thought we were going over. Right? That's just like a switch that's going to ruin the whole night. We went from, okay, everything was great.
Having a good time, yep.
Right? So that's just that one moment that changes everything. And all of a sudden I see lights starting to come on from where those models were, but people are living in them now. And so the lights come on, and I'm trying to start it because it's stalled. Well, it's in gear, so it's not going to start. Shawnee Moe clicks it into neutral. It starts in neutral, and I just neutral drop that sucker. We were out of there, right? Like, get out of there. Went to Taco Bell real quick, got our food, come back. There's just lawn all dropped right out of the back of this truck. Like, you could totally tell.
What a dick, dude.
Who did it? And then after that, I just felt so guilty. Like, I'll never, ever do a lawn job.
I did a couple the night Alcide de Melton died. I did Chima's lawn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. You were part of that.
I got caught by cops. I did a night in jail for that one.
Oh, and did you?
Another one was over in Kawasaki's neighborhood. I had a satellite. It was a Plymouth satellite. And I bottomed it out on the sidewalk and the lawn.
From front wheel drive?
I couldn't get it out. I was stuck.
Caught.
Went up knocked on the door, told them, hey, sorry, I was being an asshole. That's what I did. And they called the cops.
Of course.
So ended up back then, dude. I think I was making like $4.25 an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got a $1,600 bill for their fucking lawn, dude. And I mean, that was like that. After that, I was like, no more. I learned my fucking lesson, dude.
Worth it, huh?
I got caught and I had to fucking pay some money, and then I learned my lesson. But you used to drive like stuntman, dude. Like you're saying, you live down in the country, right? I lived over here by McFarland. You know where my parents live, and there was an industrial area where there's nothing but pavement. So you go out there and just fucking
go-kart track.
Just fucking drive the car crazy, go through tires, blew up my transmission a couple times, fucking learn the hard way that being an asshole, you know.
Yeah, driving hard is going to cost you, right? I mean, race cars, they replace parts on them all the time. Why? Because they're racing them. So when you're like out there doing that. Now, let me ask you though, did that training, because you knew how to drive that car, ever save you from getting in an accident?
Absolutely, man.
Okay, that's
absolutely.
I've driven out of some stuff before, avoiding accidents, going, if I hadn't have practiced that or like been through that kind of driver's training where I was out screwing off, you know, out in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't have probably known what to do.
Well, you know, on the Chima, so I had a 74 Opel, which is not a very fast car, but it's light. So it gets around like a fucking Jim and Jam. I did the lawn job. The guy that lived next door to Chima was a cop. He was in his garage getting ready to go to work.
Oh, man.
He fucking followed me, and I started noticing he's following me, and I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. So I started driving crazy. So then the police gets behind us, and I actually ran from the cops in my car, dude. You know what I mean? I really got to do that. I got to through town, and I know town like nothing, dude.
I did that once.
Yeah, and I fucking come over by S Street, and there's 2 cop cars there. And I'm fucking caught, busted, car towed. Got to call mom and dad. Fucking, I'm going to jail.
Oh, man. So I have one of those, and luckily, like you said, so like I practiced driving. I drove like an idiot, right? Like everywhere I went was 100 miles an hour minimum, you know? It's like I drove that car like I stole it every time. And so I was coming home one night, and it was like 1:30 or 2, and where the McDonald's used to be the Galt Market or whatever it was right there.
Yeah.
And so there used to always be a cop usually parked on the back side of that, and that was a stop sign instead of a roundabout. So I rolled through there in my car, and, you know, it was loud, and I'm like thinking, okay, is this guy going to roll out? But I passed him, I don't know how many times at that hour, you know, on my way home. And so I'm rolling through, and I cruised by, and he didn't come out. And as I'm going through the gears, I hit third gear, and I just kind of I don't know why. It's just that stupid thing you do every once in a while where you just want some attention. And so, like, I just hammered it in third gear. And by the time I shifted into the fourth, I seen him pull out and lights come on, right? But I had like a quarter-mile jump on him already, and I was doing at least 100. And I just kept it going, you know? Boom, boom, boom. Because why? I'm in my territory now.
Yeah.
I've driven all these roads, and I'm going to take you on a trip. If you're going to get me, you're going to earn it. And so once I realized, I was like, holy shit, you're committed now, right? Like, you've already just...
Yeah, you're already in trouble, dude.
So it's like, I just kept it going, and I knew... Because Steve Denier, he tried to catch me one time, and he did. And he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You left me," and so I knew I could outrun or keep up there with some of them, but not the CHPs, but the town cars, anyways. So I ended up racing all the way down, take some of the back roads on these corners, S turns that I'd mastered, you know, and everything. And this guy started catching me, and at this point, I'm going, okay, he's already got a call in to CHP, and somebody's coming down 99 from my own or Jackson already.
Fuck yeah.
Because there's only so many ways to leave there. So as I'm rolling through there, sure enough, I'm pulling them on high speed. So I'm doing probably about 145, 150 down Twin Cities, just smoking. And I just know, because I've driven it in fog, everything. And there's a couple little dips for you pulling in my parents', which was a gravel road. Now it's paved. So as we're going through, it's like e-brake, e-brake. I'm slowing down, downshifting, and I kill the lights as I went in the dip. As I come up, I make the little 90 back into the driveway, and I'm cruising down. And as I'm driving down the gravel road, I could see him racing up Twin Cities. You know, he's doing 120, 130 or something. And I'm going, at first I started to go fast, but then I realized, oh, the dust is going to be, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm creeping. All of a sudden, he blows by, and he goes through the little rolling hills, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking clear. So, you know, I started hammering it, and I'm driving fast, and I'm driving down the road. No lights on, because there's poles there.
Yeah.
I can see. I've driven this road all my life as a kid. So, boom, pull in the driveway, right under the light, you know, right in front of my parents' house. Like, oh, I've got this thing beat. I go in there, lights on. I'm sitting there eating a bowl of cereal, and I see this car coming back on Twin Cities. And I'm like, nah, that can't be him. All of a sudden, he pulls down on the road, spotlight on. He's looking through my neighbor's barn, driving through all their stuff, looking with the spotlight through everything, and I can see the haze of dust from the gravel, and I'm like,
you're fucking lit.
I'm busted. I'm busted. And I was thinking, okay, just go meet him at the end of the driveway, and hopefully he doesn't wake up mom and dad, you know. It's like, just here, take me. Like, I'm not pushing this any further kind of thing. And he drives about halfway up the gravel road, turns around, boom, jumps back on Twin Cities and does like, you know, he was looking for me still. And I just told myself, never, ever be that stupid again.
No, dude.
Like, that was your one chance where your life could have went this way, but instead you were able to...
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta watch that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Close it out, man. It's good. I like those stories, man. Fuck, we're halfway through it, but we got some shit to go, dude. So
we gotta hit the craps, dude.
All right, let's bust that crap story, man.
So gambling, you know, it's like...
Gambling, yeah, gambling's fucking, I love gambling.
So I went to Tahoe, I had to work there, and I was 22, I think. Or no, I was 24. Working up there, you know, my wife was getting ready to have a baby at the time, kind of thing. And so it was the winter time, which is slow for construction and what I was doing at that point in time. And so I had to work up there, and it was only like 3 hours. So I ended up going into Bill's Casino, which used to be their Bill's, because they had a 50-cent...
By Harrah's.
Yeah. So they had 50-cent roulette chips, you know. And so for broke guy, that was where he started. So I went in there and started playing. Before you know it, I'm up to like $350 out of nowhere, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a car payment, you know.
Fuck yeah.
So it was like, okay, I'm done, you know. So I was pulled out, and so I go over to the Wheel of Fortune slot, you know, dollar slots, because I never played dollar slots because I was always broke. So go over there, and I throw in a $20 bill, and hit a $100 jackpot. And I'm like, okay, now I have too much of their money. I'm going back to that damn roulette table. And so I'm racing back to that table. And before I even get there, it hits a number like I was going to play. And so, boom, I take $300 and I put 100 on 19 to 36, which is the top half.
Yeah.
And I put it on the second 12, which is in the middle. And I put it on red or something, I think, one of the 50-50 bets. And it hit red 21, or like my number. It hit the middle. All three hit. It was like $600. Boom, here you go. And at that point, I just like dropped, right? So that ended up buying my son's crib, believe it or not. But like, I grabbed that money and was out of there. So that's kind of where the fever had started.
Fuck yeah, because when you win, it gets you going to want to do it again.
Right. And so, and I think the whole time I try to keep track mentally. I'm like, okay, I'm playing on their money still, right?
Yeah,
so
it's fake.
It's fake, but I'm playing on their money. So it ended up going where I was like big into roulette and I won big and got lucky a few times. But then I got into craps because it's like the best odds in the house, and roulette is the worst odds.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going, I'm playing craps, and I like practice or whatever on a little game to learn it, you know, so I wasn't just at the table being an idiot, and I'd sit there and watch them. And so I started playing craps. So this last time, like, I've gotten pretty decent at it, and I've actually won money the last few years, like keeping track, like, you know, about $5,000 or whatever over the year. Well, and I'd only bring home like maybe $2,000 or $2,500. Maybe I'd win each time I'd go. But this last time I went, I was working on a job on a Saturday, making prevailing wage, like making good money, and worked a 10-hour day. And I'm like, look, I made a bunch of money today. Let's go have a good time. Let's go up to Tahoe, have a good time. You know, have dinner. And they comp my rooms now. Like, I haven't been for a room in Tahoe in like 3 years. So it's like I go up there and it's like. She didn't want to go because she's like, no, you're gonna go up there and probably drop $1,000 and like you're gonna lose everything you just worked for today. And it's like, no, but that's okay. I worked for just one day. It's not like I lost a week's check.
Thanks for the negative vibe. Thank you.
Yes, and that's what I told her. I was like, no, it's like, come on, we'll go up there. It's like, it's just, and I'm feeling lucky. So we ended up going to the Chevron here, the new Chevron off Simmerhorn. Fill up her car, right? She's got 100 cord. We zip up there and that thing. Well, I bought 2 lottery tickets. I won $50 right there scratching on the way up.
Fucking some days you're just fucking lucky, man.
And that's exactly it. That's the one thing that my dad always told me.
Some days you're lucky.
Lucky than good.
Well, some days you're lucky. You got to just know when it's that day.
So, boom, I'm feeling it, right? She's not feeling it. So we go up there. We have dinner at the 19th kitchen at the top. As soon as we get there, we're a little bit later at the dinner because, you know, I had to work all day, work 10 hours. So we didn't get up there until probably 6, 7 o'clock. We're having dinner at probably 8. Nobody there. They give us the best table at the top of Harvey's there at the 19th kitchen where we're overlooking the lake and the sun's going down. And I'm like, this is all for real, right? Like everything's lining up like it should. So we had this great, lobster, filet mignon. It's comped. I had $100 comp, so it paid for the whole thing. So we were sitting there doing that. We go down, have some drinks. We're gambling, having a good time. And usually she doesn't gamble a lot, but she'll sit there and hang with me, and I'm playing craps, and I always let her roll the dice because there's always lady luck. Whenever there's a woman at the table, you always have her roll the dice.
Fuck yeah.
And so it's she's usually done by midnight, and so I walk her up to the room, of course, and it's like that's when I go down. It's like when I've stayed there multiple days, it's like you'll lose your ass on Friday and Saturday. You see, everybody does. And so that's why I usually go up on Saturday and just stay Saturday night, because every time I've ever won has been at midnight Sunday to 5 in the morning Sunday, like that whole period. And so, at that point you're pounding like vodka Red Bulls and staying up and gambling, and there's hardly any, you weed out all the loud mouths, and like you get down to like just the people that enjoy gambling.
Yeah, they just want to enjoy gambling. That's right.
So I ended up getting to this table at Harvey's, and there's this guy that's probably 30 years old, flat bill, cool dude, sitting there at the end of the table. And then this guy walks up, this Asian guy in a purple Argyle sweater walks up.
My man.
He buys it. He drops a $5,000 chip. And he buys
baller,
it.
dude.
Just throws out one chip, $5,000. He had more. He just threw one in. That was his buy-in, where he started with. And then there's me, who I think I bought him with like $300 or something. And then there's this bigger Hispanic cowboy dude on the other end. So there's only us four. It's about 3 in the morning, and it's like we're only serious people here. Well, the guy that we're going around, everybody's winning a little bit, we're doing okay. Well, the guy on the flat brim, he ends up rolling for 45 minutes straight before he knocked out, dude. I swear, fuck? He couldn't throw enough money at the table, right? Like, we kept throwing it, and we're going, he went through the bonuses twice. I didn't even play it because I thought, he's going to be done after the first one. He was never going to hit it twice. He hit it twice, and I knew, I was like, even if he does, I'm winning out here anyways, right? And so we're like, racking up coin. We took that table. So he ended up leaving. Like I said, he rolled for 45 minutes. When he was done, we went through all of us one more time, and then all of us left. We knew, okay, this table's dry.
Yeah, you fucking did it.
We had our run. That dude left with only like $3,000. He wasn't betting very much. The Asian, the bottom with $5,000, he left there with $39,000.
Holy fuck,
They
dude.
paid him out right there.
Holy fuck, dude. So no taxes for table games, yeah.
Except if you play the bonuses. So anything under 40 to 1, you don't have to fill out and pay those taxes. It doesn't consider it a bonus. And so everything at that table is under that for your betting. And so he walked out with 39. He walked out with 3. I had like 4,500. I won at that thing because I was just like, okay, this is real. Like, this is our run.
It's happening, yeah.
The other dude had like probably $3,000-4,000. So we took that table for like $50,000 right there in an hour.
That's fucking sick, dude.
So, yes. And I wasn't done yet, right? Because it's like only like 4 in the morning, and I'm like amped going, okay. So I go over to the other table, because they closed that one down after we left. They closed that, so I went to their main table, and I go over there. I'm sitting there playing. I've been playing there for a little bit, and a new crew comes in, right? And that's kind of a badge of honor I wear when I go through, and you're able to sit at the table and go through,
people leave.
Different shifts. Not just changing people out to change up the table, but different shifts. So the whole morning shift came in at like 6, right, and started. And they're like, yeah, did you hear about that guy? He rolled for like 45 minutes last night. And I sit there, I said, yeah, I was there. And I kind of know these guys because I've been there. It's the same guys. And they're like, you were a part of that? I was like, yeah. And I told them, and I was like, yeah, we took you guys for like 50 G's, and the pit boss hates hearing that.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, so he's ready to take your money back at that point. So I sit at that table, I'm buying in, and I sit there and I'm playing. And I play, and I'm winning still. Like, it's still rolling.
It's your lucky day, man.
Dude, I won like another $1,800. And I'm like, at this point, once I start winning like that much money, like I haven't had like $5,000 like in my pocket like that. But once you're at that point, the way I handle it is I switch to tequila because I'm like, I need to get so drunk that they kick me out of here with all my money, instead of me just throwing it on the table.
I've passed out at the table before, dude. Badge of honor.
Right? So I'm throwing shots back and I'm just like getting smashed, I lose track of time because it's just like I'm still winning. And it was just like me and another dude at the table. I mean, the degenerates, I'll say. But anyways, I feel like it's their money. I'm going to sit here and play with it. And as long as I keep winning, it's like, cool. I was leaving with cash, so I wasn't worried about that. All of a sudden I get a phone call from my girlfriend, and it's like 8 in the morning. And she's like, where are you at? I'm like, well, where do you think I am? And it's like, is this the whole thing? If I come back, that means I've lost.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm not back in the room, that means we're in good shape probably. So she's like, I'm like, right where you think I am. Okay, fine, I'll be down there. And so I was like, hey, I'm cashing out. My girl's coming down. So I'm thinking I'm good. I'm sitting there waiting. She's taking a while because she's showering, getting ready and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just go buy back in 200 at that table again. So I go and buy back in 200. And all of a sudden I'm up another $1,000 by the time she walks down there. And I'm like, is this fucking real, right? Like, I couldn't lose. And I'm sitting there telling her, because she's like ready to chew my ass until I told her, yeah, I got like $6,000 in my pocket right now.
Yeah, and then everything's cool.
What? And I'm like, yeah, that's after buying drinks, doing everything, right? And so we go, and I'm like, here, go play some slots. I'm like, come on, enjoy it with me, because she doesn't. I give her $100 bill, or I buy in. We're playing the Wheel of Fortune slots, and this lady walks by behind us, who works for Harvey's, and she's like, yeah, it's the one on the corner, this one. And I'm looking, and I'm like, and I saw which one she was talking about, and it was the one on the end that was Wheel of Fortune. And my girlfriend was done. She'd already lost 100, and she was like, no, I'm not wasting any more money. I was like, I give her $100. I said, go play that slot machine. 5 spins later, $1,000 jackpot, dude. 9 in the morning. Down there at 9 in the morning on Sunday.
Well, $1,000 you ain't got to pay tax on either, dude.
No. So it was like, bam. And I was like, and she was like, and I got it on video, because she was like, oh my God. Because I was like, you don't realize the ride I've been on all night. Like, and I'm smashed. I've had probably 18 drinks in me all night, all the way to 8 in the morning. And so it was like, it's okay. She drives me home. She knows, okay, he won money. Boom. She, and I didn't take that. Even though I gave her $100, she took that $1,000 home and was like, stoked. Her thing is she thinks she only wins when she uses my player's card.
It's the luck, dude. Whatever it takes, dude. Lucky rabbit's foot. Fucking. I got this guy right here. I take this little lowrider with me gambling.
That's your lucky?
Yeah.
You set on
fucking love it, dude. Or just have it in my pocket, just so I can rub on it or whatever. But I had a real badass night, dude. I was with McNeil and his spars up at fucking Red Hawk. Or no, Thunder Valley. Playing the table. We're getting drunk, having a good time. And I'm up like $1,200, and they're like, let's leave, dude. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to bet 500. Won. Did it again. Won. I'm up like fucking $2,000 now. I'm like, fucking. So they're all right, we'll stay a little bit. So we're playing. I get up to 5 G's, playing blackjack. I said, fuck it, I'm going to bet $1,000. Bet $1,000. I won. I'm up $6,000. So I start playing, $2,500 hands, this and that. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to play again. Play $1,000. I lost. And dude, it fucking like somebody hit me in the gut, dude.
Gut check.
Cause I was like, fucking, I just lost $1,000, dude. And then the liquor starts kicking in, the courage starts kicking in.
Oh, I'll double it right now. Let's put 2 together.
No, it happens. So I get down to $2,500. I'm like, fuck it, all of it. Let's go. We'll go home with it or not.
Yeah.
I win again. I'm up $5,000 again. I'm like, fucking shit. Oh my God! And I almost had a fucking heart attack.
Right.
Cause that kind of money, fucking, I don't get it either, dude.
Right.
I mean, get paid every 2 weeks and pay bills, and I got maybe $1,000 left, dude. I'm not
you
rich.
You got a free house payment right there.
Yeah, so I do it 4 times total. I won twice and I lost twice. And the 2 times I lost $1,000, dude, it taught me a lesson. Like, I will probably never do it again unless I'm up like maybe $10,000. But that thrill, it's like, I don't know, it's got to be like heroin or something, dude. It was fucking, and of course I'm drunk. We get home, but my wife's kind of mad at me, because we're late and shit. And I come in and I just start, she's on the bed and I just start fucking.
Yeah, making it rain.
She's like, is that real? I'm like, yep, take your panties off.
Yeah.
The whole money full of bed, dude. I know, it was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's it. When you come home and make it rain, then it's like everything's okay all of a sudden.
Dude, well, sometimes it's fucking your lucky day, man, and you just have to realize it's your lucky day.
Yeah.
And I'm not into astrology and all that kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure that shit, when the planets line up or whatever, fucking, and you're feeling it, hit the casino, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're planning on winning, you could go up there with $40, $100, because that's all you're losing too, right?
Yeah.
But I did learn I don't got my wallet on me, but I learned a trick, and I heard this on a Coast to Coast AM type thing, right? So what you do is you take a piece of paper and you draw an infinity sign or an 8 on it.
Okay.
You fold it up and you put it in your pocket. It's a symbol for prosperity.
Okay.
Or to get money, right? But the deal with it is you can't be greedy.
Right. It's got to be here.
You have to be willing to accept, like, if you're only going to win, $100 or whatever, you have to be willing to accept that, because once you start to go against the symbol and shit, symbology or whatever it's called, then it starts to turn on you.
It's going to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, but as long as you're good and you're not abusing it,
right.
It's going to work for you. And I did it last night, dude. I went and played poker last night. I came home $170, dude. At a fucking house game.
You still got
that was my trick. I'm sorry I used witchcraft, but fucking I did.
Cheater.
Dude, I'm not even cheating. I'll show you when it's in my wallet still, dude.
You think Tom Brady has one of those too?
No, he gets calls, dude. That guy gets calls. So many times I've seen it. It's like 3rd and 18. They're on a drive. They need a touchdown, right? 3rd and 18. There's a fucking defensive pass interference, or there's a fucking call. First down.
Right. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, but they'll get the first down out of it, right?
Exactly, man. And just be aware of that. Like, I'm a Laker fan, dude. I mean, those are my teams, but I seen this when they got Shaq and when they got Kobe, and I hated it, man, because I know what happened with Magic and James Worthy and Kareem and those guys too, but now with LeBron, dude, this guy gets so many calls, dude. He really does, and it changes the game, dude.
Yeah, and the guy for the Rockets,
Harden,
man, that guy just leans into everybody. So hopefully they change that this year, because apparently they were trying to implement where you couldn't have that offense. They were going to call more offensive fouls for jumping into people as you shoot instead of calling the defender. So, dude,
it's changed the game. Just like the games have changed since we've seen them, and I love hearing guys that came in. Like there was a wide receiver for Tennessee, Delaney Walker.
Yeah, Niner.
Yeah, he was talking about he came in like 2004, and all the old timers then were telling him it's a pussy, it's a different league, and this and that. And he started saying, "Well, I've been in the league 15 years, so I'm the old guy now, and I can tell you, this is a pussy league now." And you got guys that the locker room isn't the way it used to be.
Right.
Everybody's out for themselves, and if they don't like it, they want to get traded. Right. And they know they're going to get paid somewhere else, so they can just say "fuck you," kind of like Antonio Brown did. Right,
I'm not going to play.
Yeah. So the game's changed quite a bit, but to find a guy like Tony Gwynn, you remember Tony Gwynn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking San Diego Padre his whole career. Derek Jeter.
Didn't he have the hitting career or like a hitting record?
Oh, dude, I think he hit I want to say his career batting average is like 337. Yeah. And I know he hit like 387 one year.
But he was like a super guy too, I guess.
Dude, he was fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way I would roll too. Like, if I could play for the Dodgers my whole career, I would just do it, dude. Fucking.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got the backing. You know how much he made on the side. Not just what he made for his career, but endorsements and everything. But he supported a lot of the community and different things, and was like...
Well, here's the thing, too. So, you seen it with Joe Montana, right? He left the Niners, went to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice left the 49ers, went to the Raiders. These guys do that at the end of their career, and there's a reason why they're leaving that team, because that other team knows, hey, man, you're fucking on the downhill.
Right.
And you might get one good year out of them, like Montana took the Chiefs to the playoffs and shit. Or Brett Favre, there's another guy, dude.
Elvis Gerbach also went to the Chiefs.
Fuck, dude. Elvis, I remember that cat, dude. He was good in college, though. He was a good college quarterback, man.
I'm sure he was.
Well, shit, let's roll. I forgot we're talking about. Let's roll one. All right, so I got a bong story, dude. I was going, I don't know, I must have been 24, 25, and fantasy football back then was, nobody played it, dude. I mean,
was there even the internet back then?
I think there was an internet back then, but it wasn't fantasy football. Now everybody plays it. I mean, like in one of the leagues, we got 3 chicks in the league, and actually the same chick has won the league 2 years in a row now.
Oh, man.
She's fucking badass, dude.
This is back in the Napster days.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is back when, I had a fucking, a 1981 Chevy van, the old kind, you throw a fucking... It had a table in the back with, a horseshoe-type sitting area and shit. And it had this long secret compartment, my bong was probably, I don't know, I said it was 6 feet, but it's probably 3.5 foot bong.
Okay.
So I could put it in the passenger seat, right? And I could light it and then fucking.
Did you have a seatbelt put in?
No, but it was a water bong too. So I'm at Highway 50 in Hazel, and I was gonna make a left at the light. I just got done hitting the bong. Light turns green. I put it down. Fucking start to pull out. Bam! I get T-boned by a fucking station wagon, old school station wagon too, like in, the way they Brady Bunch style.
Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
Or Vacation?
She fucking rocked me, dude. But my van was big enough to take it, so I could still drive it, and I drove it over to the side, and she's still in the middle of the road, so I'm like, oh, fuck, she's fucked. So I take my bong, I put it in the hidden compartment, I open up the sliding glass door, windows down, so it's going to air out, right? So I go over there to check her out, dude, and she's got a fucking mascara stick stuck right there in her fucking eye, dude.
Oh.
And I'm looking at her, and she's crying and shit.
Don't do your makeup and drive.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, dude, like, I just got loaded, I'm not ready to see this kind of shit, but my survival instinct, all that shit kicked in. And yeah, dude, oh man, I had the old school Motorola flip phone.
Nice.
I called 911, had them come out and shit, and I grabbed a t-shirt from my truck or the van, and I put it around her face, so she wouldn't move it and shit, and I waited to see what was gonna happen, and the fucking fire department came, dude, and they just fucking they just pulled it out, dude, like it was in that eye socket part right or something there. Yeah, and they just fucking pulled it out, but
man. Yeah, luckily no artery or anything.
Fuck, and then I had to sit there with Rancho Cordova police and fucking do a report and shit, and I'm fucking loaded, dude, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to jail.
Man.
But they were like shaking my hand and saying, do the right thing and this and that. And I remember I paid like $800 for that van, but once the insurance got it, it was totaled.
Right.
They sent me a check for $3,200.
Bingo.
And I was like, yes.
Oh.
It was a good little bong story, dude. I had to throw that fucker out there.
Yeah, I had heard like a rumor about that, so that's why it was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that thing being stuck in the eye. That's just like one of those things you look like, holy shit, like.
Dude, it made sense after I seen it. I was like, she was fucking just doing her makeup and ran through the red light and fucking
nailed you.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you can close out the bonger. Let's see what else do we got left, man. It's a couple of short stories here. Okay, how about young sex stories?
Oh, man.
So, I got a good young sex story. Got a buddy of mine that used to date a girl, and he had to go out of town to the girl's friend's house to see her, right? And that's where they can get together and bang and stuff, because the other girl, her parents were gone all the time. So, it was me, Flory, Weller, and this other guy. We go there, and we're sitting there in their living room with the chick, watching TV, and we're there like 5 minutes. I never met this chick. We're there like 5 minutes, and she's like, well, what do you guys want to do? And I was like, fuck, I'd really like to go take a shower with you. And she's like, okay, let's go.
Nice.
And I was like, holy shit, this is really happening, dude. So we go, we're in the shower, fucking washing each other, making out, doing this, hit the bed, fucking. I'm probably banging this chick I never met before my buddy is with his girlfriend messing around in the room or whatever,
dude.
They've
been together for 6 months.
Oh, dude, and she was so cool. We were just like, what do they call it now? Friends with benefits?
Yeah.
We were really like friends with benefits, when I was like 16 years old, or 17 years old. It was fucking so cool, dude, and it was just like, sometimes you meet people and just like...
click, instantly.
Yeah, it just clicks like that, and I hooked up with her several other times, but she was cool. We never like, oh, let me talk to you on the phone, or fucking, what are you doing with this, and then none of that kind of shit. It was just fucking
mutual.
And I like every spectrum of music. I do, man. Except country. I like old country. I'm not into the fucking. I like some of the newer songs, but I'm not really into it.
Right.
But I love metal, dude. I'll fucking listen to metal for hours. I'll listen to fucking emo, Depeche Mode, Duran Duran, fucking Cure music, whatever, dude. But she was a fucking stoner chick, dude. She was fucking really cool. What's up, Adrian? If you're ever watching this, what's up to you, girl?
Cheers to that.
So tell us your fucking spa story, dude. Come on.
Okay, so when I first started, my first year going to college, I was living in an apartment building, and you go down to the community jacuzzi pool, you know, and that kind of thing. And so I was down there with my roommate, who I didn't even know. Like, we just got grouped together because we both needed a roommate kind of thing. And so we were nothing like each other by any means. So anyways, he went down there. We were just hanging out down there, and there was a couple of ladies down there, you know, that were older. So we're just, you know, I was 18, just hanging out, and it's like we're down there. They're drinking. They're like, "Oh, you guys want a beer or something?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, because I used to throw like some parties in there.
Little apartment dorm party shit, dude. Yeah.
And I mean, so I had the parties. At the end, when it was time to move out, I had a ring around my living room where every frickin' cowboy with their cowboy boots would lean against it and put their foot up on the wall. There was a ring like 2 foot around the entire wall. That's how big parties and people were in there. And you can't get rid of that sheetrock once it's grooved in. Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of, so I had all these parties and people leave hella shit there, right? I mean, there'd be cigarettes, there'd be everything there. And so I just had a drawer, I just throw it all in there, and when we have the next party, somebody'd come, they want a cigarette, whatever, they'd go get it and go out on the patio. So anyways, we're down there at the jacuzzi and everything, and this lady's like, "Oh man, I really want a cigarette or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't even smoke, so it's like, "Well, you want a cigarette? I got like a half a pack up there probably if you want them." "Oh yeah, what'd you get them?" So they brought down some beers. I went up there and got them some cigarettes, kind of thing. We're just hanging out, and before you know it, she's like, "Why don't I come up here and smoke the rest of these cigarettes at your place?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool.
Whatever, yeah.
We're gonna go hang out and watch MTV, you know, and that kind of thing." Because I didn't have MTV till I went.
Yeah, and MTV used to play videos and shit.
Yeah,
dude.
back then it was music and videos, and so I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So she just came. The other lady was like, "Oh yeah," went and did her thing. My roommate was already in bed or something like that. So she comes up there. We're just hanging out, and she's like, "Oh, okay, well," and she's like, she was 32 years old. So I was like 18. She was 32. She had a 14-year-old daughter that also was in the apartment complex to live with her. But she told me her whole story at the jacuzzi house. Yeah. She was just divorced.
And you told her you were 22.
Yeah. Actually, she didn't even ask. I mean, she didn't even care, obviously. She just like she had a mission. And so pretty much, I ended up helping her out with her mission. But it was just kind of funny because I was just like this 18-year-old kid, had zero clue that she was coming on to me and like was ready to go. And so she's like, "Oh, let's go to your room or whatever and hang out." And I was like, "Okay." So as soon as we walk in there, she just boom, dropped her clothes naked and was like, "Are we ready to do this?" And I was like, "Okay." It was like,
man,
it's just that connection. You never know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you get the connection.
Sorry, everybody.
But I hear a lot of my friends, especially at bowling, when we bowl, we drink and we talk shit, and inevitably it goes to the past and stuff, you know. But a lot of us say, "Oh man, I wish I'd do this," or "I wish I could go back to high school and do this or that," or whatever, man. Right. And I think Ferris Bueller, that movie Ferris Bueller, it turned me out, and that made me like, I want to be Ferris Bueller, you know what I mean? But I also, at a young age, realized that I liked pussy, man. I mean, I love women, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I don't have any regrets like that. Like, I think I did pretty good. I was like, had a good time, man.
Sure, absolutely. Like, well, that's good.
Like, when you started telling me the story, I'm like, dude, when she asked you to go get some cigarettes, that's where you say, "Well, why don't you just come up there with me?" You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you had to play that through to get to that point, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and if I was like a player, like I knew, I probably would have thrown that out there then and like been trying to hustle her back up in the room kind of thing. But it was like, I was just like, "Oh, okay." Like, and she was like, "Okay, this kid doesn't have a clue. Perfect." And then the whole time, like the next day when I saw her at the apartment complex, she's just like, "Oh, do you want to come over and have dinner?" And I was thinking, "Well, I'm 18, your daughter's 14. Do you want to really have dinner together?" All that kind of thing. And I was like, "Well, yeah, maybe we can go out or something." But she was like totally cool. "Okay, well, we'll just see you next time or whatever." And it was like, okay, well, I didn't go down to the spa for Google.
The old hang and bang, yeah, dude. I was at a car show last weekend. DG had his car out there, and a couple other guys from high school that we went to got cars and stuff. So we're talking, and it brought me back, dude, talking about being a player and all that. But we used to go to the cruise up on Sunrise.
Oh, yeah, in Greenback.
Yeah, we used to go to the cruise over in Stockton off Pacific. There was another one off of McHenry and Modesto. And then there was one in Woodland. And, I mean, these cruises, Broadway, Sacramento is another one. I mean,
that was the first one.
We used to have fucking a really good time going cruising cars. And I remember when it changed, man, was when, like, the movie Colors came out.
Yes.
and all of a sudden gangs started getting really fucking bad, and you'd be cruising and then people be throwing up sets and shit at you. It really changed, man. It was bad. But one thing I used to do all the time when we go, man, is fucking especially out of town, we didn't have social media, we didn't have phones, all that kind of shit. So you meet a chick and I'd be like, yeah, I like you, but I'm a virgin, you know. And dude, saying that I was a virgin, it rolled so many times in my favor, dude, because girls were like, oh, I want to teach you, I want to be your first, or this and that. Yeah. And then fucking, 15 minutes into it, you're going doggy style and put my thumb in her butthole and shit. She's like, you're not a virgin. But it was one of the best, dude, ever. Girls can't do that, but dudes could do it.
Right? It's like, well, you're not stopping me, so...
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, we're over, man. If you made it this far, man, hit subscribe, tell a friend, share it. I appreciate you coming and doing the show, man.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Roll it out.